So we are going to record this session for forum members who will not be able to join with us. So I have just started the recording process. Please.
Great. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'll just quickly introduce myself to the forum here. And many of you might already know me. My name is Abhinav Jain, and I am a technologist by my education, turned marketer by profession. And now from the passion, I've become a meta monk, a person who is very much well-versed and very much, deeply, ingrained into how metaverse and all of those things are happening. I am one of the co-founders of A-Technos, a digital transformation company based out of India, primarily Gurgaon and Mumbai. I'm also one of the co-founders of Almond, which is India's first last mile, on digital activation sort of solutions company. And now we are moving towards metaverse as our focus. I'm also one of the founding member of MetaMonks, which is a 4,000 member, big community of metaverse enthusiasts across the globe. And I'm also one of the advisors at World Crypto Forum, primarily putting India's perspective on the crypto there. Many of you can also know me personally, but I can also be reached out on aj@almond.solutions. So that's about me.
Thank you.
Sure. The focus of this entire masterclass is to primarily talk about what you think the metaverse is and what actually the metaverse is, right? And when I spoke to Ramanji last time, we talked about that there are many possibilities, there are many areas that can be, touched upon. But let me start by showing a very small video of something which is our in-house product to give you how it all started and what all can happen. So what you see here is our platform called Almond Vertex. Vertex stands for virtual engagements and experiences. And everything that you would see for the next 50 seconds to 60 seconds is fully customizable. That means we don't need to code, but all of this can be customized from the backend. The look and feel and the experience and everything around it. So let me play this video for you. Now, some of you might be wondering that you have been using similar platforms for last 2 years or so, which is what we call virtual events platform. Well, I have a surprise for you. If you have experienced a 3D platform in the last year during the pandemic or before or after that, you have already touched a first start or the first step of the metaverse by engaging in a 3D experience. And that is exactly what our platform started with. We call it Vertex, as I mentioned to you. So when we look at the metaverse, there are different definitions of what a metaverse is versus what it can deliver. I want to particularly give you an example of how you would be seeing the metaverse and how you should be thinking what metaverse can deliver. A big elephant was there in a garden, and 4 kids who have never seen an elephant was blindfolded and asked to touch the elephant and experience what the elephant looks like. So some kids touch the trunk and some kids touch the tail, right? Once they came back to the class, the teacher asked, "Tell me, how was the elephant?" So the kids who touched the trunk said that it seems like a pipe. And those kids who touched the tail said that it seems like a paintbrush or a broom, whatever it is. Well, that elephant is the metaverse right now, because we are in the earliest stages of what metaverse platforms, technology, and solutions can bring and offer to the brands. But there are some basics of what built the metaverse, or the key pillars or components of the metaverse, which I particularly like to highlight today. And then towards the end of this presentation, I will also share some examples of how some brands have used it, for various branding, marketing, and advertisements purposes. So let's go to the very basics of what Web 3.0 is, right? Web 3.0 is about how information is stored, how secure the information is, and how you consume this information is. So I will talk about some of the keywords, as this is a master class. So I need to talk about some of the basics of these keywords that you might have been hearing for last many months, or probably a couple of years already. The first word is decentralized. What does that mean? So decentralized means, as it says, something that is not controlled by a single party. In this sense, the party could be a company, an organization, or a person. So for example, right now as we speak, your Google search result is completely controlled by Google. Your Facebook profile appearance, or the content, how it goes to your newsfeed, is completely controlled by Facebook. Imagine if your Google search is no more controlled by Facebook, but is a result of something that is controlled by hundreds of thousands of people who feel that you as a person, when you are searching for something, this is how you should, or what you should be seeing. And that's exactly what decentralization means. Blockchain. I'm sure that all of you might have heard of this word for last couple of years already. But blockchain is very powerful. So now you already know what decentralization means. Think of a database, which is, first of all, decentralized one. That means this database exists on multiple computers in multiple geographies and cannot be changed. That means whatever you write into this database cannot be changed. A database is nothing, a file. It could be a Word file. It could be a columnar file, or whatever it is. It could be a code which is written anywhere, but you cannot change this. You can only add things to this, right? So in our old days, in conventional days, there used to be khata books, right? Which is the handwritten khata books. I remember my father, had the Bahi khata in his shop, and he used to write the things on a monthly or a weekly basis. And once it is written, you cannot change that. Or even if you'll change something, you will come to know, okay, something has changed after writing this. Blockchain is a append only such database. That means once you have written something, you cannot change it. You can only add something on top of it. And that's what makes any blockchain or such systems extremely secure, that the complete transaction history will be there. So for example, if I have to give some money to Ramanji, okay, and I sent it through a blockchain, and anywhere in the world, okay, someone says that this money is not given, Ramanji can always go back, or I can always go back and see the complete transaction history in the blockchain. And the good thing is that this is not stored in one system or controlled by one party. It can be stored in hundreds of thousands of systems across the globe and can be managed by hundreds of thousands of parties. And without all of their consensus, nothing can be changed in this system. And even nothing can be appended in the system. And that's what blockchain means. Now, if you combine decentralization with blockchain and think of this as an internet, that's exactly where Web 3.0 comes in picture. And that is the building blocks of the metaverse, right? So I hope this is clear for everyone, because I wanted to particularly spend time on this. These are the three key pillars of how the metaverse will be built, and what are the key areas that everyone should be aware of talking about the metaverse. Now we come to the real point, which is the metaverse. What is metaverse? Right now, if you go on a website, say Google, and if you search for something, what do you get? You get a list of articles, you get a list of websites, you probably see some images and all, right? Even if you search, Lal Killa on Google, you will get some images of Lal Killa. You will see the Wikipedia link of Lal Kila and all. Just imagine if you search something on Google and it gives you a complete immersive experience of what you would feel when you go and visit the Lal Kila. If it can give you an exact replica of the Lal Kila on the site or on the app that you are, and you can exactly walk into the Lal Kila, see how the walls look like, what were the paintings there at the time when there was a king who was ruling the Lal Kila, or how was the experience there when in or probably 1535 when it was built or something like this. This is what we call the immersive internet in very plain and basic languages. So something which makes you feel as if you are there. And I will show you a couple of examples of this as well, how people are doing that and all of that. Now, you might have also heard about a term called virtual land. A lot of people are buying properties in a virtual land. So where will you build the Lal Kila? Taking the same example from the previous para here. To build that Lal Kila in an immersive or a 3D experience, you need to have a website, or in the Web 3.0 language, we call it virtual land. So that means you can also buy land, which is nothing, a portion of that website that you can buy where a Lal Kila can be built, which is what we call, a Lal Kila in the metaverse or something like this. Now, sorry, is there a question? No. Okay. So now, in order to make sure that someone is able to build the Lal Kila and have a property, we also need to make sure that we have the property papers, right? Which is what we call NFTs, which is non-fungible tokens, which is nothing but a proof of a digital ownership that shows that someone owns this particular digital asset, right? So if I have to build a Lal Kila in the metaverse where people can come and walk in and see a complete 3D immersive experience, they need to have the land. And in order to have a land, you need to have the ownership, which will be, which will be proved by an NFT. That's how this entire ecosystem works. Now, let me show you a video of an immersive experience, how it looks like and what all it can offer. And just
I just would like to interrupt you for a minute. I think so few of the people have not mute themselves. I think so there is a hindrance which is coming up. I request Neeraj ji, Vineet and Ravi Publicity, please, can you mute yourself, please? Thank you very much. Thank you. Neeraj ji, please mute Kalijiye. Thank you.
Sorry. Okay. I think everyone is muted now. So Ramanji, can I go ahead?
Please.
Okay, great. So I want to show you a quick video of another product of Almond only, which is what we call Vertex 3.0, which is in alignment of Web 3.0 services that we are offering. And first, I'll show the video, which we will go uninterrupted, and then I will individually talk about some sections of this video. So let me show this to you. Great. So now what I want to do is I will quickly go to some specific sections of this entire video to tell you how and what is, we meant by metaverse and what is not metaverse or something like this. The number one thing, which is avatars. So now in order to have the immersion in a place, you can either wear the headsets, the VR glasses or something like this, or you can also create an avatar of yourself, which will, on behalf of you, will traverse the, the Lal Kila, the example that I've created here, imagine that you might not be walking there, but imagine that this can happen from the experiences that you want to deliver through an avatar, right? And that's very important. So you can create avatar. There are platforms which are available that can integrate with your system and can create avatar. So for example, our system can create about 500 different types of avatars like this here. Then very important piece, which is what we want to show here by immersive 3D environment. Right now, you are only seeing a website which is pure 2D. But now if you have created an avatar, and if I ask you to walk inside this auditorium or inside this entire, you know, a 3D, what you call virtual exhibition center, you can actually literally see what's in the left of you, what's in the right of you, who are the people who are sitting next to you. Please do not see that this is the only thing that can happen. This is just a representation. You can have an avatar which looks like you. You can have an avatar which is like a robot or something like this. All of this can be created very easily. So now let's go to the next section of this, which is where you create the full immersion. Now just see the opportunity. So I have created a 3D immersive exhibition space here for the purposes of, you know, a demo. And what it can do is you can see various shops which are there. You can interact with people. You can see on your left and right how it's happening, various people who are around you. You can chat with them. And this chat can also happen in a 2D mode, what you see here. So, you know, there are 4 people, Karen, Mike, and all of this. That can happen in a 2D mode like you see here. Or we can also make it more immersive, where I can also have a 3D mode, which is here you have your avatar sitting there. And then the third person who is not using the avatar is simply appearing there on a video conference or anything like that. So the complete experience can be immersive. And when we say immersive, that means you can feel as if you are there. Now, if you're wearing a VR headset or something, then you don't need to see your own avatar. But if you're not wearing a headset or anything, then you would like to see where your avatar is and what various things this avatar can do, right? So these are the kind of experiences that can happen. Then gamification. So I'm sure that many of our kids are playing Roblox and, you know, Decentraland and all of that. They're building the games around there. People are playing and making money. Probably, you know, brands are spending millions of dollars in showing up their brands and all of that. So games is one big thing which is already happening in the ecosystem. And as I mentioned, it is not just as many of the people think that in order to experience metaverse, you need to have the VR headset with you. Well, that's a myth. A metaverse experience can happen on a very fine, lightweight browser, which is like your Chrome browser as well. On a Web 3.0 browser, the new secure browsers which are coming can happen with the camera of your phone, which is what we call AR, and we will talk about that as well. And can also happen on a VR, which is what Facebooks of the world or, you know, various other large companies are working on. But that's not the only thing. In fact, there are companies which are creating auto experience in the metaverse, and there are also companies which are creating food and pet experiences in the metaverse as well. And of course, sorry?
Yeah.
Again, I think so 3 or 4 people are mute. I request everybody, please mute yourself.
Let me mute from here then, no problem.
Yeah, please.
I'll do it from here.
Okay. You are a host, you can do it very easily.
No problem, no problem. So I'll do that.
Sorry for interruption.
No problem. So I think, you know, this was very important thing so that everyone is on the same page in terms of understanding what it can offer and all. So I've shown you the video and, you know, let me quickly just jump onto the thing where we were. And then finally giving the 3D product experience. So imagine a phone is being launched. Imagine a car is being launched, right? There is a person who wants to see the car, but not available locally. Can you still show that experience to them? There is a, you know, a motor manufacturing company, but they want to show how the compressor works, but they are not available physically for that launch. Can we still give them the massive experience, the immersive experience? This is where Metaverse opens a big alley, a big opportunity for brands to come and show interaction, show immersion, and show what all can be delivered. And finally, in education and training, like what you see on the screen right now, this is an actual educational cut of an educational video from WebMedi, which is actually creating metaverse for medical education training. So doctors which used to normally do these procedures and learn these operational procedures on, the dead people, now they are learning this through VR and metaverse experience, where they can actually see if they make a mistake, how this entire organ of the body will react and what they would need to do. So all of this simulation can be done. Finally, you would have noticed that I particularly talked about NFTs and digital rewards. Now, in future, I don't know if many of you might know, last year in the US, 30% of the gifts given by the age group of 19 to 35 was digital NFTs. That means that about 30% of young people gifted NFTs in the US. And why NFTs became a big hit? Of course, right now the market is down, so people might be thinking about the other side of it, because it shows that you own something pretty unique, which is not owned or replicated by anything. And why replication? Remember the blockchain. You cannot recreate anything or update anything. You can only add something into the database, which shows that you as an owner own something, and someone who will buy this from you will be appended only when the entire blockchain or a big chunk of the blockchain approvers will approve this. So that's where the rewards and all of this can happen. And all of this is already what we are doing. And this is a very big market. And that's where I feel that it is important for all of us to understand that why metaverse is very big and what are the key things of the metaverse. So coming to the next slide, which is, I think, in the first two videos, I've tried to showcase you what virtual events are, what you guys have already experienced, and what's happening next. In the 3D experience, what the virtual events platform like Almond Vertex were delivering, if you add more immersion, if you add avatars, digital rewards, NFTs and all, you are already entering into the metaverse. And towards the end of this slide, I will also show you what various brands are doing, which is where a lot of marketing value add can also be done for agencies like us. So I think by now we already understand that it is nothing but a digital world of a physical experience, which is what metaverse is. And what it does you to engage and interact with each other. That means multiple people can interact with each other or with the products or entities or things which are in the metaverse. And it eventually becomes a very enjoyable experience for everyone. Now coming to the three different sorts of experiences which is powering metaverse. And I think a lot of you might have already experienced AR, right? AR is nothing. It is basically the initial steps of the metaverse, when we will say, so you open your camera, you open the camera of your mobile and you scan something, right? By scanning this, imagine a new world opens up on the other side of the camera and you can experience things from there. That is where AR comes in picture, right? So imagine you're scanning a cold drink or a soft drink bottle, and it immediately, by scanning the soft drink bottle, like you do a QR code scanning, it shows you, the various things which has gone into building this soft drink bottle. That means it could say, okay, it has 30% sugar, it has 10%, this, and it has 5% this or something like this. And it can also show you not just the composition, but how it will affect, your body. Probably, I'm just giving a very basic example. By just seeing that particular product with your camera can offer such massive experience. And that is what augmented reality is. But now augmented reality is not just limited to your mobile phones. It's also integrated and extended to your cameras and AR glasses. That means the normal glasses that you would wear will also in future. And of course, Google AR glass is already out. Hitachi is already working with this. And you can actually think of creating experiences with these things very easily. I'm sure that virtual reality is the next topic here. So all of us, we know, right? So imagine just putting the same experience within the closed VR headsets, right? where you only see what's being shown to you. If you go to any mall right now, any, kids zones or anything like that, you will always see some VR headsets which are there, and people experience games with them. People experience a new world in them. And people also now chatting and meeting people and speaking to others and learning, training, and all of that things are happening. And of course, product experience is another big thing which is also happening on the platform here. So virtual reality is not something new, but now what we are seeing here is with the virtual reality, we can offer more immersive experiences to the users, which makes this entire experience very, very different than, other, the previous old style of experiences. And finally, mixed reality. So now imagine combining the camera, experience of a phone where you can still see what's on the other side of the camera, and with the VR headsets that you have. So a closed VR headsets that can also see what's happening outside the, the VR headset, which is what you see, through your eyes. And if I can combine these two experiences together, that is where mixed reality comes in picture. So imagine, wearing a normal glass, but as you're seeing the Lal Kila, it is also showing you, who built this, what kind of, how much time did it take, how long would it take to build the Lal Kila, and all of that. Imagine, wearing that headset and seeing the mobile phone, and it can tell you, okay, what.
You have to mute Mr. Vinod Singh. Mr. Vinod, please mute yourself. Thank you.
I'm muted, no problem. So now as we talk about this is, I think we have covered the all key pillars of a, AR or VR experience, which is where we start with augmented reality. We talked about virtual reality, and then combining these two things together, which is where the real metaverse adoption comes in picture. Now, why this is very important, and why, in fact, people are talking about the metaverse, and where the opportunity for agencies like us or other various brands who are our clients are for. Number one, so far we were seeing everything as a 2D, as an information, but not as an experience. With metaverse, brands have started thinking everything as an experience. I am working right now as we speak with a brand that is completely taking their factory training experience into a metaverse. They are building a metaverse with us and converting their entire factory into metaverse. So all the training, even before person will come into the factory and see where the various things are, they will complete training in the metaverse itself. So on the day one itself, they will be ready to start working, or probably their training time will go very less. And that's very big shift. And that is where the important aspect of metaverse is, that now brands, agencies, enterprises are thinking not just information, but experience, right? Second, entertainment, commerce, and social gathering, right? We all know, we all love couch conveniences. And last 2 years or so since COVID has happened, from, the lockdowns and all, we all have become habitual to spend time on our couches and talking to people through Zoom. I know that it's not that engaging, but that's exactly where metaverse comes in picture. And it says, let me make this entire experience engaging for you, where you might speak to others, you might, discuss things with them in not just a 2D video call, but in a manner that shows you, that represents you. And as we speak right now, world's largest concerts have happened already in the metaverse, where 25 crore people, 250 million people have already enjoyed a live concert in the metaverse to experience what kind of virtual experience or virtual concerts can happen. Fashion, so there is a case study which has come out last, couple of weeks ago, which says that people buy clothes only for taking selfies or showing off their photos on social media platforms. So one company that thought of a very brilliant idea, they said that if people are only buying clothes to, take good pictures and show off to their friends and families, how about if I can create a platform where people can take selfies and then they can change the digital dresses there itself. They don't need to buy those, clothes to take those pictures. This company had recently got, I don't know, probably, you know, tens of millions of seed round or pre-series A round for building the platform. And that's very important, that fashion is going digital. Gone are the days when we had to go to a shop to buy a cloth and touch and feel the cloth. Now brands are thinking that how can I simply sell you through e-commerce? And in futures, as we talk about the meta commerce, where people can create their own avatars, they can see how the cloth looks like, and then probably the fittings and everything can be captured. And once everything is fine, it gets delivered to your doorstep, and voila, you might not even buy those clothes because you wanted a good picture with those clothes. And then with your human avatar, you can actually get the picture that you can post it on social media. And that's already happening. And last but not the least, as I mentioned already, brands are moving from just giving away informations to experiences. Brands are also thinking that how we can make it personalized. That means if in the metaverse, you can actually feel that as if you are the one who is experiencing this, that is where you will add more, that is where you will have better loyalty to the brand. And that's where metaverse is actually leading the way. In India particularly, we are in the very, very early stages of how brands are using, and primarily they are using for marketing. But in the countries like Germany, in the countries like US, the utilities are being built, and we will talk about that as well in next couple of slides. These are some of the industries which are actively using metaverse as a technology. Finance, you might have already come to know, JP Morgan has launched their bank in the metaverse, right? Gaming, Roblox, Decentraland, all of these brands are already creating millions and millions of users and content. And people are earning millions and billions of rupees, or probably millions of tens of hundreds of millions of dollars for creating content, right? Fashion, I gave you an example. Marketing, many brands are already creating one-time experiences, but soon they will also be thinking of creating utilities which can be used by these their customers and consumers in the metaverse. Art galleries, of course, art has become so massive that now you can actually own art which you would have never thought that you could own through digital channels. Virtual shows have become very popular. 3D architecture. So as I gave you an example of Lal Killa, imagine building a new opera house or World Trade Center, and you can experience you can imagine what kind of experience can be delivered, and it can be branded, it can be marketed and all, and of course entertainment. So nothing specific about it. Now, as we talk about what is the future for metaverse, so now you understood that what the metaverse is, what are the key pillars of metaverse are, and how it can use. The future is very, very exciting because in 1995, when first email was sent, or probably 1990, first email was sent, people started asking question that if I can deliver a mail by post, why would I send it digitally? And right now, I don't think so we can imagine our life without a digital email or even a message, right? And that exactly is the stage of metaverse right now is. You might think that if I can go in and meet the person physically, why would I go and create my avatar, and probably a brand will create a 3D twin of their ecosystem in the metaverse? Well, that's right. Right now, you might not know, but as we move towards future, convenience and cost, both will start driving adoption of metaverse. And that's what we are already seeing. As we speak right now, one of the car company in Germany, I think it was BMW or Audi, they saved about $300 million by first building the assembly line in the metaverse, making sure that complete assembly of the car is happening correctly, and then actually building a physical assembly line to launch the car. A company like Nike and Adidas already saved 130 million by using NFT to compete with counterfeit products which are being sold on eBay. And this is just the start. There are companies which are already actively working on creating better social experience in the 3D space, which gives you, if not the same, but at least a similar sort of experience that you would face in the physical one-on-one, conversations or experiences that you would get. So again, it's not the comparison. Metaverse is not a replacement. Metaverse is an extension to your physical experiences, something that you could do, by going there. Probably you would do that still, but you might not do it in the first time. You might want to just see the things digitally first, and then you might want to visit that place. You might want to experience the exhibition digitally first, and then you might want to go and see probably in the next edition. You might want to buy a house and see the 3D experience first and the various other properties first. And then you might want to go at the location of the property and see those things. And that is where future look like. And it's quite exciting. Now, in the next two videos, I want to show you two very recent examples of two brands. One is Airtel that has used to build a Metaplex, which is a multiplex or a movie theater scene in the metaverse. Let's see how it looks like, and then we will go to the next one. So this is what they tried to create, is a metaverse experience of multiplex, where people can come and watch movies with their friend, while they can also chat with each other as if they are actually sitting in a multiplex. Another is a slightly more marketing first experience, which is given by the brand called Eno. And what they did, they created a comedy experience in the metaverse to celebrate their anniversary. Let's see how it looks like.
Welcome to Eno's 50-year celebration. Just look around. Look where we are. This is India's first stand-up comedy event inside the metaverse. Please welcome onto the stage the one and the only Zakir Khan.
Come on, come on.
Clap, 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 clap. कैसे सब लोग भाई? आ रही क्या आवाज? बैठ जाइए सब लोग अपनी अपनी जगह पे। बहुत शुक्रिया आप सब लोगों का, आप आज वक्त निकाल।
Thank you.
So this is another experience that they created. But again, as I said, that right now brands are primarily seeking marketing as an experience in the metaverse, but it has begun to change. In fact, as we talk about today, we have recently filed a patent for IP called Channelverse, which is where we are trying to convert the channel engagement experience of FMCG and automotive sort of brands in the metaverse. And with this, what we are trying to create is creating a marketing to utility experience. And basically what we do with the channel partners like events, education, loyalty, and rewards, and all of this can be delivered in the metaverse. And this has started to happen. We are not the only company in the world which is thinking of using metaverse from marketing to a day-to-day utility, but there are many others which are already happening. So that's about us. I hope this was of some help to all of you, and I will be more than happy to take any questions that you may have. Or Ramanji, I mean, over to you, how you want to take this forward.
Yeah, so first of all, I would like to extend my gratitude from the forum that you gave us a time and imparted such a fantastic knowledge. I think so it's something futuristic technology which is going to come. So today, I think so you have knocked it. Very soon we are going to interact with this in our daily lives as well, right? So by seeing all those platforms, what you have shown it today, so I believe, I think so very soon, within some 2-3 years, we are going to see in our daily life. So correct. Thank you very much that you have introduced us to Metaverse, because we all might have heard about this particular word from every possible corner. Even Facebook changed the name Meta. So yes, things are moving towards that, basically, right? Correct. So it was a very good topic. And by chance, I got a chance to meet you, and you updated about this particular technology. So I wanted that if my forum members can get a chance to hear from you, it will be a great help. Thank you very much for giving us time today.
No, thank you. So, thank you for the invitation, Ramanji. I feel that as I gave that example of elephant and the kids, it's in the very early stage right now. And more than the right information, the wrong information is what people are listening about. They're just thinking, okay, this is what metaverse is. A metaverse is not like one place or owned by just one company. Metaverse is an experience, right? Like you have multiplexes, which offers you movie experiences. You have game zones, which gives you game experiences. You have big grounds where you play cricket, right? Yeah. And that's how it is. Metaverse, you can think of is an experience that can be built on a common place, or you can also have your own metaverse built. Like I gave you an example of, we are working with an insurance company to create a metaverse of insurance partners. They want to offer everything that they used to do physically in the metaverse. There is a Dubai-based company called Thambe Group, which has launched one of the, I think they are probably Dubai's only hospital in the metaverse. And they're saying that, why do you need to go and see doctor? You just wear a band and I can check your heartbeat from there. I can check your BP from there, and you interact with the doctor sitting at your home. That's also metaverse. So I think it is important. And that's why I was very excited about this call, is that we as a fraternity who has been into the media space, ad space, and we know what kind of things brands are talking now, at least you will have, or this fraternity will have, better understanding of what metaverse is and what not, right? Because till now it's been like everyone is hearing something new and they are just taking care of it. But now you will be, I think everyone will be more confident and will be well versed in terms of knowledge that can be of some help to everyone.
Right. So thank you very much. And I now would like to give a chance to my forum members. If anybody wants to come forward and want to ask any question that comes to your mind, you're most welcome. Anybody who wants to ask a question, please unmute yourself and can ask the question.
Probably I've done a very good job.
I think so. You have answered all possible questions. I think so. No question has been left. Though I was also trying to ask, and I was just writing a few of my questions. But slowly and gradually, you move forward towards your presentation. I thought my answer is already there, basically. So, you have given a very nice presentation, very crisp, clear, and very knowledgeable.
Great, great. So what I will do, Ramanji, I'll send this presentation to you as well. I mean, if it's of some help, because I created this for our forum only. And then we will talk about it. So
now I would like to ask one question.
Sure.
Let's say we are servicing our clients, basically. If in the case tomorrow I go and try to sense an opportunity of metaverse at any of my clients, basically, and I want to create something. So can we come back to you and can ask how we can help our client? So you are the right person?
Yes, sir. So I have a team. We are about 80+ member team right now. And about 10-15 people are focused on metaverse as we speak. So mostly we work with various brands and agencies together, and then we try to come up with solutions, because a lot of people are just asking, can we do this in metaverse, without even knowing if it is a meta first opportunity or not, right? And that's where we help them. As I mentioned, I run a community of about 4,000+ subscribers called Meta Monks, which is where we constantly talk about these things. And in fact, we have a session that we are planning, and I will extend the invitation to this fraternity as well. Sure. We have invited some of the renowned people in the metaverse fraternity from not just from India, but also across the globe on 15th, 22nd, and 29th. Every Friday, we have a 45-minute session where, we have invited some very unique and entrepreneur and focused people who are building something exciting that can be used by brands. So the way to do this is, if you have any brand that wants to do something, let's have some functional details from them. What are they trying to achieve? What challenge are they trying to solve? Is this a one-time opportunity, or they want to continue this? Like I gave you an example of FMCG company that we are working with. We have a 3-year-long contract with them now, and they want to move all of their channel engagements activities, loyalty programs, campaigns, notifications, engagements, product launch in the metaverse. And that's where the real opportunity is, so that we don't see this as a one-time campaign. We see this as a long run, multiple year occurring opportunity. And that's the value add that we will bring. So from our team, I can be reached out. Of course, we are very well connected. And then we will have the team that will work with you or the fraternity members with their respective brands and to get the next steps out.
So you can be a one-stop shop for metaverse for us.
If we can help you, sir. We are already, now known in the market as a Metaverse Solutions company, and we are very actively working with various agencies together, sir.
Sure, sure. So once again, I would like to give opportunity to my forum members. Once again, I'll ask anybody who would like to ask any question which comes to your mind.
There is a question.
Yeah.
There is a question in chat. I have slightly less knowledge about it, but I'll try to answer. The question is, what is cognitive advertisement or advertising? Sir, in the very basic language, cognitive advertisements is where you connect AI with the consumer behavioral data. So for example, how Google targets you, right? So you might have searched for Make My Trip, or probably you might have searched for trip to Goa, okay, in December, right? And next day onwards itself, you'll start flooded with hundreds of ads about Make My Trip, Goa Bibo, and all of that. This will happen for next 5 days or so. And then slowly, they will start showing you probably just one ad. How would they come to know that this is the ad that you would be seeing? What they do is they continue to collect data about your experiences with these ads that they pop up. And not just that, about your various previous search activities and future activities as well, what you would do on many other things. So for example, Mr. Ramanji, he wears a tie, right? And he might be searching a tie on on Amazon. I'm just giving an example. Amazon knows about it. Amazon gives the cookie to Google. Google's AI engine also knows that, okay, Mr. Raman is going to Goa, but he also wears a tie, right? Trust me, on the 5th day or 6th day, Ramanji will get an ad of a business hotel in Goa, because they have realized that he is a thorough professional. He might like to stay in a business hotel, right? And that is where cognitive advertising comes in picture. So the data about you combined with the consumer behaviors with the power of AI, resulting to a better targeted audience with a better clickable ad. That's what cognitive AI is. I hope I was able to probably simplify this in a very layman language. Dr. Shadanshu, I think, okay, great. So he has mentioned yes. Great.
So anybody else? I think so. No more questions are there. I think so. You have made everybody satisfied with your presentation.
Great.
So thanks once again. It was pleasure receiving you today, and we'll take few more knowledge in the coming time from you. We are in a process of maybe creating some induction programs on ground very soon. So sure, definitely for that, I'll be approaching you in the future for sure. So we'll take some more time from you to make more people understand about the subject. Right?
Great. All right, sir.
Thank you very much, Abhinav. Looking forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, and thanks to Joint Media Forum and Ramanji, especially you, for giving us an opportunity to present ourselves. It's I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and I thank you all my forum members for joining us today. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.